Good evening, YouTubers. T Square with T Square Talk. Hope everybody's having a great day. Got a live event today, but if we don't have at least 5 members, then we're not going to run the event. It is a members event. It's something we do every month where we give out some free silver. Due to the hailstorm, I am running late on last month's, so I am running it like right now. However, I'll be sitting here chatting a little bit and kind of just answering some questions, see if we get some members in here. What is up, Larry? How is it going? Hope you're having a great evening. And what is up, Caterpillar Silver? How's it going, buddy? Hope you're having a great day too. Not 100. I'm just kind of setting stuff up right now, real quick. So please bear with me as I am getting a few things kind of trying to figure out here. Hold on one second. I know right now you're seeing something different only because I am setting up the video. So all you're seeing right now is just my my camera looking down real quick while I get this set up here real quick. It's a little different tonight. I'm running it a little later in the evening, and I'm not going to run it if we don't have at least 5 members pop in. However, that should not be a problem, but we'll see what happens. If I don't run it tonight, then I'll just probably announce it and tomorrow morning, and then or do it a little earlier. And now we are going to do it again too this month. So this is the one that I should have done at the end of the month. But like I said, due to the hailstorm and a bunch of other issues, I didn't quite make it. So, boom. Let's see here what we got here. Give me a quick second. So it's taking me a second just to set everything up. Because last time I had this video where it was not monetized, and it kind of hurt me on my watch time. Because when I do these, as long as it has the watch time and the monetization turned off, we YouTubers earn credit for it. So, okay, so now that that is set, boom, let's switch over so you can see what I'm looking at. What? This is the first time you've seen silver? MR57, you've never seen silver in my video? Oh, you know what? Because I've been running my videos from the computer lately. So really, you don't see as much. Yeah, I got a couple ounces. In fact, right there I have probably like 20 ounces sitting right there that you just saw. So, but I've got a few ounces, trust me. I'm not just somebody that just talks about it. I truly believe in it. You probably haven't been... I don't want to say, because I don't know how long ago I started using the computer to do a lot of my videos. I used to show all kinds of silver. It used to show me too, but I took a lot of those down, those videos. But like, yeah, if you watch a lot of, see these videos, these newer ones, these are all done with the computer. But if you scrolled back like a ways back, I used to do it. In fact, I could probably have it on my shorts. This used to be my desk setup right here. So I would have all this stuff just sitting on my desk. And then I ended up having an issue, and I wanted everything that I have out of my house and put in storage, put in my safety deposit boxes, and put at a couple other locations just because I had a couple of scares, I guess you can call it. And so didn't really want to chance it anymore and took it pretty much everything out. But you can never, if you're a stacker, you can't get everything out of your house. It's almost impossible. So who knows? We'll see how that plays out. I may go back to that, but I'll probably never. A lot of people thought that I was like, I don't know, bragging. I don't brag. I mean, because I'm very low key. I'm simple. If you ever met me in person, you would realize I am ripped jeans, t-shirt, old shoes. Simple person. I'd rather spend my money on stuff that it makes more sense. I don't like to waste any money. I'm tight, but I do like to eat, as you can see in a lot of the short videos. A lot of good eating. So I'm kind of giving it a few minutes just to let people kind of come on in, and let me see here how we're gonna do this again. So we got the wheel right here. I think we minimized it like that. And then I'm able to see. Please take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button. We got 9 people watching, only 2 members in the house. So thank you all. For those of you that are here, anybody that has any questions, now's the time. You got me one-on-one right now while we're kind of waiting to see if we can get 5 members in the room. So ask your questions. If you got any thoughts, any questions, let me know. Let's see here. Haha, this is the first time I'm seeing any silver in your video. Yes, you did catch that. Still new? Nope, not, but still a little new. Hear that I working man too, and I like eating. Yeah, I understand that. I love eating. I used to do a lot of cooking videos. People that have been following my channel from the beginning, I actually wanted to do a short video. So when I first started YouTube, I was teaching people about little loopholes, glitches. I'll give you an example. One of the glitches that I taught a lot of people about was the AMC movie app, where if you went to go see the movies, you could get the app on your phone. The app wants you to be silent during the movies. They want you to set your phone to silent. So if you have the app and you go in the app and you hit the silent button in the app, it basically takes control of your phone, so you can't take any calls. It basically mutes your whole phone. And in return, at the end of the movie, you go to shut it off, and if it was the right time amount, which is usually about a typical movie, plus a little bit, a little longer, whatever, they would give you a prize. And the prize was either a free popcorn, a free soda, a free movie ticket, or a buy one, get one free for any of the above. And I used to always like to go to the movies. But somewhere along the way, I found out that you could put your phone in silent mode in the app, but if you had your GPS off on your phone, it would give you the prize. So you could be at home watching a movie, set your phone silent while you're sitting there, and then boom, you get the free gift. So I would teach people a lot of stuff like that. I wanted to do one recently where I talked about the Golden Corral app and how you can get coupons and a lot of cool stuff if you like Golden Corral. I haven't decided if I was going to do it yet because there's a few different things. I get a referral code. There's a few little things if you sign up through me and I decide to tell everybody them, and I don't mind. It's not like it's a secret. That you would get basically a break, but not everybody has Golden Corral. I mean, some people know what it is. Some people don't even know what Golden Corral is. I like the app. Another one that I did was teaching people about the referral program with Robinhood, where you could get 2 free stocks. One of my friends, so I had literally like 50 people sign up, and one of my friends actually got GameStop, and she pulled it up one day because she wanted some Shiba. And she's like, why does my account say it's valued at like $250? She told me, she goes, I didn't put no money in it. I said, oh my word, do you have GameStop? And she goes, yes, that's one of the 2, GME. And I said, that was your free stock. And it just so happens that it's on a run right now. I said, if it were me, I would sell it. I would take your money. And if you really want Shiba, I would put it in Shiba. And that's what she did. She took the whole share, sold it, $250, and then put all the money into Shiba. Now, I mean, I don't know if Shiba's up from that point, because it's been quite a while. But another one I did was teaching people about how to get the tax breaks, homestead exemption, that type of stuff. For a while, I was doing the couponing, the extreme couponing, until I filled my garage up. At one point, my garage looked like a store, literally. I had shelves in there, and it was just wall-to-wall stuff. And then I ended up stopping doing that because it really wasn't taking off. I did a couple videos. You get like $700 worth of groceries. Not necessarily all edible for under $10. My best one was getting like $300 for $1 at the grocery store. But a lot of it was shampoos, body washes, toothpaste, deodorants, razor blades, Tide detergent, And when you're sitting on 70 bottles of Tide, at a certain point, the whole thing is just pointless. So I kind of stopped doing that, switched over to homesteading, talked about homesteading a while, talked about raising chickens a while, talked about prepping for a while, and then silver, I had to talk about that because it was just a buying opportunity. I mean, when it was $15, anybody that couldn't see that was just missing the big picture. $15 silver. I look back at them days and I'm just like, man. Taking a look at the comments real quick. One-on-one with T-Square. That's what I should name the video, One-on-one with T-Square. This is your opportunity to ask any questions. If you have any thoughts or anything you've kind of wondered, now you can add it. No kidding. It's kind of quiet, probably because it's 10 o'clock at night. And just not many people are probably going to show up. We only got 2 members in the room right now. 3 members. Conrad just showed up. What's up, Conrad? If we don't have 5 members, I'm not going to run the event, though. And I always like to give it at least 20, 30 minutes anyway. There will be people that will filter in, want to hit that subscribe button. Please hit that thumbs up button. Hit that subscribe button. Help me out, even if you're new to the channel. It really does help me out. Let's see here. No kidding. Do you stack any vintage art bars if you get them at Spot? So vintage bars, you are extremely lucky if you can get them at Spot. I have a couple friends that are big into vintage bars. Some of them have paid up to $300-$400 for 1 ounce, which is insane. A couple people on the channel are big into the vintage. We talked about them. We have a room, I think, dedicated in our Discord. So if you follow us on Discord, there are rooms set up, chat rooms, with a lot of good information, hot items, stuff that comes out. Me personally, if I got them at Spot, so that was your key thing there. If I can get silver at Spot, I usually pick it up. I don't really care if it's vintage, if it's junk silver, constitutional. Even jewelry in some cases I will pick up at Spot, especially if they're nicer pieces. But even if they're not, the only thing I watch out for is a silver piece of jewelry with a lot of stones in it, a lot of cheap stones in it. It might be 925 silver, but if the jewelry is only, let's just say 20 grams, and then it has another 30 grams of stones that are nothing special, then I watch out for that. I don't want too much when it comes to stones. How do I get in? Okay, so to become a member, you would just have to look underneath the video, and there should be a button that says join, and it's $1.99 to become a member. $1.99. You get entered in. You get a star next to your name, and your phones go right to your comments go right to my phone. And there are different levels. So if you get in at the $1.99 level, you get 1 entry. If you get in at the $4.99 level, you get 2 entries. And if you get in at the $9.99 level, you get 3 entries. And it gives you a chance to win free silver every month. So it's a lot of fun. I had someone say, well, think about it. If you win an ounce of silver for $1.99, that's a steal. Now this month we are giving away a Australian spider, which has been the prize now for a few months. However, I picked up a bunch of them. They're certified. Well, they're certified authentic from NGC, I think it was. And it's pretty cool. It's worth becoming a member, in my opinion. For $1.99, it's a super awesome deal. However, down the road, I may end up doing a different set of prizes if you're a higher level. Right now, you just get the extra entries for the higher level, but I've thought about running that. But there's only 3 at the highest level, 3 people that are highest level right now. And that is congratulations to New Marshall in town, being an obsessed fan, Conrad for being an obsessed fan, and Pete Clark for being an obsessed fan. Those are the only three. So I thought about wanting to do something because someone asked me, well, would it be hard if you did like a gram of gold if the member is an obsessed fan? So right there, we got a new fan. Oh, is that a member? I don't know how that works. So that's actually a super chat. I will still put you in tonight for a super chat. I mean, that's a $10 super chat, so I'll count it as a super member for a month. Because I don't know. Yours didn't say join. Yours didn't say member. You don't have the star next to your name, but it's a $10 super chat. It would have been the same either way because YouTube takes half of super chats. They take half of memberships. So thank you, though, so much for that. And TJ, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to drop your question. Just because we're kind of talking until we get some people on to kind of verify. I don't want there to be any questions like maybe I rigged it or something. So I usually wait. So back to that last comment, though, real quick, that I had read. I'm not a huge fan of vintage, but if I can get anything at spot, I pick it up. You can't really go too wrong with vintage. It gives you, one, it gives you the silver. Two, it gives you the extra collectability, which I think is very important if you have that option. I stack them even at premiums. Laugh out loud. I want to trade some. I want to trade some for some that I don't have. It's hard to find the vintage ones, especially the really old ones. I'm lucky. I have a friend that does a lot of buying and selling silver, and so basically he whenever he gets stuff, he kind of gives me opportunities to pick it up from him. Instead of sending it to the refinery and having it melted down. Once in a while, he'll put the stuff online for sale. If it's something that he knows is kind of really high end. I see him put some Morgans on, and he asked me, he goes, do you want these Morgans? I got to get, $40 a piece for them. But if you want them, you give me 40. And I kind of like them at 35, the Morgan dollars. That's kind of the price target that I try to shoot for. There were a couple better ones there that he said maybe he had to get $50 for. I said no on the 50. He put them on eBay, and he got like $110 for one of them, and I was like, darn, dude. But to me, I'm a stacker. I'm not just a collector. I'm a stacker. I'm banking that something major is going to happen in the silver markets. I think still by the end of the year, we will for sure, in my personal opinion, not financial advice, see a new all-time high, which means we will be well back over $54.40. What is up, Kelly? How's it going? Hope you're having a great night. Hello to T-Square and everyone. Hello, Kelly. Conrad, hope you're having a great night, buddy. 11, where I'm at. 11. Oh, it's 11 o'clock where you're at. Okay, yeah. So you must be somewhere on the East Coast, because it's 11 o'clock where I actually would be from. However, I'm here in Texas right now. So let's see. I was at Walmart the other day. They had a bunch of 10 and 14 karat jewelry on clearance. Ooh. It looks like they have the prices very near spot. I'm thinking about grabbing a bunch to sell for scrap. So let me know. I'm curious to go. I wouldn't mind. Someone actually had a gold chain that I was going to end up helping him trade off. He, and then he kind of changed his mind. So we'll see. I love picking up jewelry all the time. If I can get good deals on it, I pick it up. But it has to be really close to spot. I picked up a silver necklace the other day from someone. It cost me $20. It was spot price, literally. And it's a real pretty necklace. So who knows? I was like, it'd be nice if I could get it shined up. How much to get in? Okay, you already found that. Let's see. Is it a members only that can win? On this event, yes, it's a members only event tonight. Just because I am obligated with the deal that I have set up through YouTube. In order to have memberships, you have to give your plan of what you're going to do to YouTube. YouTube has to approve it, and then you have to follow it. So that's kind of why I have to do that every month. And then YouTube has more set of rules and stuff that we have to follow to make sure that we're meeting what we obligate. So that's the deal with that. What's the dealio? So the dealio, this is our members event. We do it every month. The only reason this one is a little bit late is because of the ice storm or the hailstorm that we had. I had some damage, and also I'm fixing to move, so I'm running a little bit behind. So I'll be doing actually another event before the month's out. So there's actually going to be another one coming up, and so I mean, it's a good opportunity to become a member. If you are on an Apple phone or an iDevice, I guess they call it, an Apple device, it's a little harder to join because you have to go through your browser, go to YouTube. Through your browser, and then once you're on YouTube, you type in T-Square Talk, and then once you're there, then you'll have the option to become a member or join. If you're on any other device, you can just scroll down a little bit, hit the join button, or you can go to my main page on YouTube and click the join button there. But in this case, TJ ended up doing a super chat for $10, so I'm going to put him on the board as a member for the month, and I'm going to give him the Obsessed Fan membership status. Let's see. Let's see. Hold on. Oh, I'm not allowed to click that. Hold on. Let's see. I just want to go to bed and wake up to maybe winning some silver. Absolutely. So yeah, you don't have to be present to win. Once you're on the wheel, you're on the wheel. There are members that will just tune in tomorrow morning. They'll go to my main page, then they'll click the live button, and they'll see what video it was. It might have already been posted, and then they'll end up just seeing if they were the winner. But if we don't have, here's the thing, if we don't have 5 members on tonight, I won't run this tonight. I will run it tomorrow night. Just because I need at least 5 witnesses that are members to end up doing it. And that's why I'm kind of chit-chatting a little bit. But we've only been on here 22 minutes. I usually sit and talk for about 30 minutes, and then that gives people time. Because the people that are on the wheel, some of them do end up sitting here and watch for a while. And if you're a member and you're watching right now and you haven't commented, please leave a comment real quick so I can see, okay, we got 5 members in the room, and then it helps out so we can run this. So hopefully you're going to wake up in the morning a winner. But if you're not, hopefully if you're not, it's because we didn't run the event yet. What's the majority of your stack? Rounds, government, or bars? What would you say the most of your weight comes from? Let me think for a quick minute. I would say generic rounds is what I get the most of my stack from. I do have some bars, but I'm not a big fan of bars. However, I've picked up some bars super cheap when people need money or something. And so, I mean, for me, that's that. But generic rounds will probably be my main go-to. Why? Because there's a lot of different designs. They look cool. With a lot of the government coins, the premiums are just so high on a lot of that stuff. I am trying to get my silver as cheap as possible. Where I believe the silver price is going to go, the more you have, the better off you're going to be, in my opinion. So, and I know some people will say, you know, it's not going to go there or this and that. Everybody has their own opinion on where the silver price is going to go. I'm kind of thinking we're going to see a new all-time high literally by the end of this year. So I'm going to take a few minutes while we're waiting for people to come in, and I'm actually going to set this up real quick, and you guys can kind of see what I'm looking at, I hope. Yeah, okay. So like I said, if you're an Obsessed fan, copy, you actually will have 3 entries. If you're a super fan, you will have 2 entries. Paste. And I apologize if you can hear. Go lay down. Go get. If you can hear my dogs, both of them are sitting right beside me, and they're making noise, jumping around. Paste. And go ahead and ask questions too if you have questions. I can kind of talk while I'm doing this. Paste. Paste. Copy. Paste. And then I need to make sure I put TJ in there. Paste. Okay, Pete. And the next one, we got Mike. Copy. So Mike, you got 2 as a super. Copy. And if anybody wants to do a $3 super chat, if you are a regular member, you can do a $3 super chat, and I will upgrade you to a super member. If you're a super member and you want to do a $5 super chat, I will upgrade you to a obsessed member for the day or for the event. Copy. Some people they choose the $1.99 membership, which is honestly it's the best option, I think, the bargain option to get in the event. But then when the event comes, they're here, they're watching, they feel lucky, and they're like, I feel lucky, I want to upgrade my membership, and so they upgrade it. And I've actually seen people upgrade it that day and end up winning that day. But I've also seen people win it with just the one entry. Copy. Paste. Here, give me 1 second. Only because my dog wants to go out, so I gotta open the door for them. I'm not going anywhere though. Dog's sitting here at the door wanting to go out, and then he's jumping back over here on me, so I'm like, he obviously wants to go out now. Let me read a couple of comments while I'm doing this too. 11 o'clock here. Are you sure most of your weight in your stack is in Australian spiders? Yeah, I'm sure. Think about my my biggest part of my stack is actually the Legendary Warriors. I went overboard on them, and I do have a lot of Australian spiders, though. I'm still sitting on probably about 200 of them, and they take up a lot of space. That's the only thing I don't like about them. But I like them because they were $37 each, and they're certified. So that's really the reason why I've got so many of them. How do you get on the wheel? So you got to just become a member. You can hit the join button to become a member. It's $1.99. And a lot of perks come with that too. Put me in, Kelly O'Neill. Definitely consider becoming a member. We are trying to grow the membership base even more now. So it's well worth it. I think it's well worth it. For $1.99 to get a shot at winning a. I guess the question would be, what is that coin worth? I would probably say $60. Some might say it's just an ounce of silver, not anything super fancy, but it is certified. Which, I mean, an ounce of silver certified from the Australian Mint, to me, is a pretty good coin. The only reason is a buddy of mine up in Maine, he bought an auction and he got 2,000 4 monster boxes of certified spiders, funnel web spiders from Australia. Think about that, 2,000 of them. Pretty obscene. And I ended up saying I would take a whole bunch of them if I got the right deal. But I had to get the right deal. I had to get the price that I wanted. And at first he said no, and then he said yes. And so I took the first batch, which was, I think, 100 of them to get that price that I wanted. And then I split that up with people. And then he was still sitting on a lot of them. And then I said, well, I'll tell you what. If you give me 50 and you mix it with 50 certified eagles, I'll do the same price. I said, because I don't need any more spiders, is what I told him. But I like the eagles. People like certified eagles. And at first he said no. Then he said yes. And then probably a month later, I said, will you do the same deal? And then he said no, but he would do 25 certified eagles and 75 spiders. So I took that deal. And I think I did that a couple times. You're not late, Pete. You are not late, buddy. We're actually kind of setting up the wheel right now. I'm late, technically. In fact, I need to make sure we have at least 5 members in order to do this. If we don't have 5 members, then we're not going to run it tonight. I expect this to be a long video, and I'm just taking questions right now. Anybody watching, if you have a question, it'll kind of help us make it to where it ain't so boring. People just sitting here waiting. If you're considering becoming a member, it's well worth becoming a member right now. It's only $1.99 to become a member at the basic tier. Let's see. Philip, Chris, Unknown, Happy, EMO, Mike, Pete. Look at that, Pete. There you are right there. Pete. Conrad, and New Marshall. And I still got to enter TJ. So let's see here. A, B, A. Now the reason I have to put the AB there is because it will want to take out all 3 entries. Whoops, did I do that wrong? Yes, I did. It will want to take out, if all 3 of them say the same thing, it will want to take out all 3 entries on accident. So I want to make sure that don't happen. I haven't had it happen yet, knock on wood. Okay, so there's that. And then let's get TJ in here. Let's see, we're going to put you right here for now, since we actually lost a member. TJ. We'll do caps. Cap. And then lowercase. TJ. OCK. TikTok. So TJ, TikTok, and then you're going to be an obsessed fan. Copy for the $10. Paste. And then we're going to do A and B. So you are on there, good to go. Continuing on, let's see here. So that actually answers all the questions. If you're a member and you're watching right now, just put a period or something in. Just put a little, if we get 5 in a row or 5 recent, I don't know if everybody's still on because we've been on now 35 minutes. But that way I can kind of get an estimate if we've got 5 in the room. If not, like I said, I'll run this tomorrow, and it's not a big deal. if I run it tomorrow and I run it a little earlier. It's late. But, I didn't mind doing it, getting on here at like 9:45. So we got Conrad, we got MR57, we got Pete. So that's 3. If we get 2, we got Larry. That's 4. If we get one more star pop up, I will run this tonight. Even if it's a new member, I'll still run it. So we at least got 4 already. Just need to have 5. I'm pretty confident, though, somebody will get on here in a little bit. I probably could have called a member, but I would be willing to bet he's on right now. But he's probably watching one of the penny live streams. He's big into the penny collecting. And he didn't know I was going to go live either. Let's see. Anybody got any questions? Anything to talk about? I know the last question was Conrad asking if the spiders are the majority of my collection. Believe it or not, they're not. The Legendary Warriors is. So I would like to put a lot of Legendary Warrior sets together. Although now, with the premiums on them, it's kind of driving me nuts, and I don't know if I'll be able to finish them all, as many as I wanted to do. But we'll see, because I like buying them in 100 packs, and then I have to divvy that up with people. But I still get stuck with quite a bit of them. So we'll see. I thought about giving away a set of them when the set's over as like a huge prize. I know Unknown is not in the room. I talked to Unknown about, he was actually our winner last month, and he had made me a deal that he wanted something else from the channel if I was willing to give it up. And I was like, heck yeah. Silver, for me, is a very high priority. I like silver. I think the only thing I might like better right now than silver, anybody want to guess? See if anybody can guess. What do I like better right now than silver or gold? There is something that I do like better right now, that I am trying to pick up as much as I can when I can get them. I think they're going to be extremely profitable in the next year or so. Anybody get a guess? I see we still got 8 people in the room. And like I said, live streams this late at night don't really do that well. So it might be a little quiet. At 1 hour, if we don't have barbecue, no, it's not barbecue. It's something that you can collect. Something that you can collect. I have no clue. It's new to me. It's not new. I've talked about it on the channel probably 5 to 10 times recently. In fact, you might have even seen something relating to it on the video at the, I can't scroll back, at the beginning of the video when I was trying to set up. You might have seen, because I got one in my hand right now that I'm sitting here tapping. I don't know if you can hear that, if you know what that is. See if anybody can guess it. I'm curious. You can guess it. I've talked about it on the channel, done videos dedicated to it. Digimon balls. I don't even know what that is. It's not. Oh, you're pretty much on that, kind of. The copper answer is pretty much, I would actually probably give that a win, even though I'm not just saving the copper, I'm saving the zinc too. And that should instantly tell you what it is. I've been trying to frantically get pennies. I think the opportunity on pennies are going to be huge. How many of y'all have been on eBay lately and checked boxes of pennies? Sealed boxes of pennies. A sealed box of pennies, the cheapest you will find on eBay is $79 for a $25 box of pennies. Now, that to me is a huge run-up. But you have to ship it. But people that ship it usually put it in a flat rate box, super cheap to ship. And you can actually get 2 boxes of pennies in a flat rate. 2 boxes in a flat rate box. I would not pay $79 for a box of pennies. But I do have 3 or 4 banks that I have connections with, that I'm friends with their managers that run their branches, and So I've been trying to get what I can for pennies when I can. Plus, I'm trying to either trade my penny collection to one member or trying to gain his collection. One of us is going to gain the other person's collection. Because both of us would like to be number one, I think, just to say, look how many we got. I actually did a video. The video's not up right now, where I actually drove 3 shopping carts of pennies to somebody up north, and he's a member of the channel. So that was pretty crazy. But then right after that, I ended up stopping showing myself. So any videos that I found that had me in it were taken down. I was going to do a giveaway, and then I had an issue with everybody's comments. Once I took the videos down, all their comments disappeared, and I'm like, oh, shoot. And I don't know how I'm going to ever do that. I still have the item that I want to give away. Some of y'all might remember that, where if you put a comment on a video that showed me, I took the video down, but what I didn't realize was that the comments would all disappear too. They're still on the video, but then I would have to turn every one of those videos back on, go in, write all the comments down, and then take the video back down. What is up, Silver Cobra? Hey, if you guys want to do a quick count, if we've got 5 members, because I don't think Silver Cobra was in the original count when I started. So if we get 5 members in a row, I will run this. If we get to an hour and we haven't had 5 on, 5 on at one time, then I'm going to put this off until tomorrow. But I see Silver Cobra as 1. I know Conrad was here. If he's still here, say something. Same with Larry. Same with MR57 and Pete. If you guys are here, drop a comment. So we've got Silver Cobra, we've got Conrad, we've got 2, we've got Larry, that's 3. All we need now is MR57 and Pete. If you two put a comment in right now, here's the thing too, some people may not even be live. They may be, oh, Calvin's here, and MR. Okay, there's our 5 right there. So we're going to run this then here shortly. In just a couple minutes. It's already official. There we go. We got Pete, MR, Calvin. How's it going tonight? We got Larry. We got Conrad. We got Silver Cobra. So we have more than 5 people on. So we're going to run this event tonight, which is good because I want to run the November one next week, and then I'm all caught back up. I know a lot of people are excited. If anybody decides they would like to have their membership upgraded for a super chat, let me know. You can upgrade your membership if you'd like for the night. And if not, it's no big deal. But I have right now, I've got 3 for New Marshall, 3 for Conrad, and 3 for Pete. And then I have 2 for Mike, 2 for EMO, 2 for John, 2 for Happy Stacker, 2 for Unknown, 2 for Chris B, 2 for Philip Lowe, and 2 for DeFam, and 3 for TJ TikTok, who just signed up, and then 1 for everybody else. And we've got our 5 people, so we're for sure going to run this in... I'm going to give it a couple minutes, just a couple minutes. If anybody else would like to consider, what is up, AMTV? How's it going? Hope you're having a great evening. If anybody else would like to become a member, you can click the join button right now and become a member. Once I start spinning the wheel, it is live. I cannot go back and add names on it. So I sometimes have had in the past where someone is not live on the video. They're like at the beginning of the video. And so they're like, oh, I want to become a member. And then the wheel's already spinning. I can't put your name on at that point. You will be eligible for the one that we're going to do next week. If you become a member, it's $1.99. And on top of that, if you win 1 ounce of silver, you've done more than made up for it. We are giving out a funnel web, a 1 ounce funnel web spider, certified authentic from NGC. It's a great coin in my opinion. Well worth $1.99 if you're lucky enough to win it. and gonna give it another minute or two. We're at 45 minutes, so another minute or two if anybody is watching and would like to. We're getting more people. As more people hit the thumbs up button, the video gets popped out and show more people. We're sitting right now with 14 views, but you don't have to be present to win. You do have to be a member to have your name on the wheel. This is a members event. We do them every month, and it's a good opportunity. There are people that have been members for a year, and they've already won a couple times an ounce of silver. In fact, Allie, I just sent Allie's out about a week ago. Some people have asked me to trade their ounce. I traded, someone had a spider and then said, can I trade it for one of them old Libertads, 1 ounce Libertads? I said, yeah, I can do that. If it's something you see on the channel, I don't mind. To me, it's just an ounce of silver. None of it is special to me. An ounce of silver is an ounce of silver. I show stuff. I take it, throw it in my storage unit, and then I show something else. I mean, stuff is always coming and going. That's if I still have it. Because sometimes I show something and someone's like, oh, I want that. And then they get a hold of me, and then I sometimes let them have it for what I paid and meet up with them, especially if they're in my area. I always try to really accommodate. Okay, so we are at 46 minutes, no new members. So with that being said, we are going to run this event. It's going to be exciting. Someone is going to be a winner tonight. The reason I said, too, it's a good time to become a member and try to win this is because I'm going to do this again next week. And that gives you, essentially, if you buy a $199 membership, you get in on this one and you get in on the next one. So that's a pretty cool deal there. So with that being said, we're going to shuffle these names up and get this started. Once the wheel is spun for the first time, I cannot do anything to add a name to it. If you become a member right after we shuffle the wheel, I cannot add it in there. Don't worry about the symbols. The symbols, they tell me something, but it's more just for me. And that's it. With that being said, let's get going. I'm going to shuffle them up. I always like to shuffle them up because some people don't like having their name like a block of 3 all next to each other. And we are going to start spinning. So here we go. First name to be eliminated. It is the last name on the wheel. Last man standing is the winner. John, what is up, John? Well, this is a nice surprise. It was a surprise for me. I was sitting here and I had time and I said, you know what, I'm going to get on. If we get 5 members, we are going to run the event. And this ain't even the last one for the month. We're going to do it again next week. That way I didn't have to do 2 next weekend. I can do 1 tonight and 1 next weekend. You did miss the Q&A. That's about it. But if you got something you want to ask, go ahead and shoot it. I probably won't say anybody's names once I start spinning because I don't want to jinx it. So that's the deal with that. And let's see. Last man standing. So here we go. Let's start crossing off. I always feel bad for the first person to be eliminated. Oh, one more thing. If a number wins and there's no name next to it, like this one right here, that means it's the previous one because this was someone that canceled their membership. And nobody filled it. So here we go. Let's get started. First name to be eliminated. And there is 86, so it may go slow a little bit at first. It is kind of a time-consuming thing. Oh, no. I am so sorry. I'm not going to read the name, though, but you can see it. But I know that person's in the room, so that's why I said I'm sorry. But you got a few, so it was inevitable one of them would come up. So sorry. And actually, I probably won't keep saying that. Someone told me last time, they're like, please don't say apologize for everyone. Just go the route, keep spinning them, keep clearing them out. Let's see. Anybody got a question? And I was feeling lucky. You still could be. You still could be. I'll tell you guys my story today. So I went to a game room. I guess you call it a game room. They have funny. Hold on. They have funny names for them. For those of you that don't know, a game room is basically slot machines, but they've added a game of skill, they call it. And the way they get, oh my word, I am so sorry. Not feeling lucky there, that's for sure. I am sorry. So a game of skill is basically a slot machine. You put your money in. Let's say you put $5 in, whatever, and you spin the slot. And if you lose, you can play a game of basically Simon Says. And you click on the colors, and if you make it all the way to like 25, then you get your money back. But most people go there and they spin, and if they don't win, they just spin again. And they keep spinning and spinning like a slot machine. But they can get away with it because I guess the games of skill is not considered gambling. It's a game of skill. So I ended up playing, and I did end up winning in the end, although I probably shouldn't have started with that part of it. I'm about to leave and slam the door. I am so sorry, man. Dang, that stinks. Yes. So I started out, I put 20 in. Didn't hit nothing. I was like, darn. Then I put another 20 in. I'm down 40. I do like to gamble. I love playing poker, and I love slot machines. And then I put 60. So each time I say this is how much I'm in. I end up putting another 20 in, then it took me to 60. Another 20 took me up to 80 in. Another 20 took me up to 100 in. Another 20 took me up to 120 in, and then I lost. I put another 20 in. So now I've got $140 in this machine. And then I hit a big bonus, and it paid me $145. I said, I'm done. I said, I'm cashing out. I'm done. I don't want to play anymore. He handed me the money, and I said, well, let's just do, I'm up $5. Let's just do a 20. I don't know if anybody lives in Vegas in the room right now. And so I said, I'll just do a 20. In worst case scenario, I'll do the 40, and I'm down. If I lose the 40, I'm down $35 for the day. That could have been 1 ounce, 2 ounces, and 3 ounces. And that's exactly what I think about when I'm doing it. I'm playing online poker now. The only reason I don't like online poker is because I had was it 4 of a kind one night? And somebody beat me. To get beat with 4 of a kind, the odds of that, I've never seen that in real cards. Real poker, real Texas Hold'em. I've played in major tournaments in Louisiana. I've played in major tournaments in Las Vegas, Nevada, and California. And I've never, ever had a 4 of a kind and then lost. I don't even think I've ever gotten 4 of a kind. I know it can happen. I'm sure I've seen it, but it was online poker. And so I lost complete trust in the system. The odds of that just seem too outrageous to me. I did lose the other day in a real game, physical cards. I lost with a full boat. The guy had 4 of a kind. That blew my mind, but it's not. We were playing real cards with real cards. So, I mean, if I didn't see it, and part of my boat, my pair that made up my boat, the pair was on the table. He just happened to have a pocket pair of the same pair that was on the table. So that was kind of a fluke too. Needless to say, back to the story. So at that point, I took out my 145, and I'm like, well, I'm going to play a little bit more. I put in 20, I lose. 40, lose. And then I'm like, it's going to take it all back. 60, 80, 100, 120. and then I hit $170 on one spin. And for $170, that meant that I was up $50 from that second machine that I played. I am so sorry. That does stink. Slam that door for me, bro. I think that was number 3. That is BS. And that put me up $50. Ouch. Yeah, that's about how I felt. It's worse than poker. And then I still had my $5 extra from the first machine, and I ended up giving that to the cashier, the $5. I said, here's a $5 tip. Buy yourself a soda or something. And I walked out $50 up, or 1 ounce of silver when it's all said and done. And then I went to Golden Corral. Ate way too much, but no bread. No bread. For those of you that know, I am dealing with diabetes hardcore right now. The other day, my numbers were up to 582 about 2 weeks ago. But I've been working hard to bring them down. No more. I was talking to one friend. He's like, dude, you eat a family bag of potato chips every night, late at night? I said, that's my night snack. Potato chips or popcorn. One of the family bags that costs like $6 or $7. Got that there. Or 2 bags of microwave popcorn. And I was told the microwave popcorn is even worse too, because, it's just, oh, did it get you? Or it got one of you. I might have gotten one of yours. In fact, it could have only gotten one, because I see another one at the top. So I have cut out the potato chips and switched it to apples, and I've cut out the popcorn and switched it to broccoli for my evening stacks now. Every night now, I'm eating an apple. Usually right around this time, so 11, 12 o'clock at night, I grab me an apple and eat that. It's not as, I don't want to say it's not as good, because I do like apples, especially if they're the crunchy ones. But it's helping. My lowest that I've had it down to now is 196, and that was yesterday morning. 196, which is the lowest I've seen. I've never seen it under 200 yet, so I'm moving in the right direction. I have been told that eating broccoli is a huge thing to really help you out. Try carrots. Someone else said carrots and celery today. One of the girls that I had dinner with. I actually went out for dinner with a few different people they do their little girls' night, I guess you can call it, and they invited me. So it's like, I'll go. So they said, one of them had said celery and carrots. Try carrots, even though they're higher in sugar content. Vegetable, but way better than potato chips or popcorn. Very good, T. Acquiring the taste is the hard part. Yeah, apples and broccoli for sure. So at first I was kind of disappointed, because when I read, so the broccoli that I got was one of those microwavable bags. It's fresh broccoli. It's put in a bag, but it's all cut, washed, and they had them on clearance. I said, you know what? I'll eat that tonight. The only thing about that, what is up, Eli? How's it going this evening? I'm sorry. The one bad thing is if I accidentally say someone's name. I hate it when I slip up and say a name. But then again, I don't even know if you're still on the board. So I try not to say names when I'm spinning. Yeah, when I read the bag of broccoli, it had 1 gram of sugar. I am literally trying to cut all sugar out. I want it all gone. Every bit. If I can. Is it going to be hard? Absolutely. But if I can get it consistently under 200, that would be nice. However, I've only had it under 200 one time, that 198. Usually during the day. Tonight was the lowest I had my night one. I check it again around 8 o'clock at night, and I was 254. Usually at night, I'm running 290 to 300 because I've eaten all day. So that was a good thing. But like I said, I went to Golden Corral today, ate mostly meat and vegetables, um, and one piece of toast. Just one. And the one piece of toast, I put sausage and gravy on it because I went during the morning. I like raw baby carrots and way overcooked broccoli, cauliflower can even masked to not even be recognized. So I had broccoli and cheese today, but someone told me that if you eat broccoli or green vegetables, heavy green, broccoli, kale, that is a huge thing to help you out. It will actually, the fiber will pull sugars out of your blood, which is pretty cool if that's the case. I also noticed if I do physical activity a day, the next day my numbers come up a little lower if I don't go crazy and eat a lot of bread. My numbers come up lower with the physical activity. Watch your carbs, your body turns it into sugar. And that's, yeah. So I don't generally eat much candy, sweets, cookies. My problem is junk food in terms of potato chips, popcorn, and my other problem is large quantities. So I told you I ate mostly meat and vegetables at the Golden Corral today, but unfortunately it was 6 plates because it was my buffet day, and I tend to overeat. The first plate being 3 eggs with some toppings, some bacon and sausage on top of it. The second plate was a full all-out omelet with some sour cream on top of it and a couple pieces of sausage. The third plate was some fruits and some fake crab salad. The fourth plate was a couple little items like some shrimp. They had some leftover shrimp, I think, from the night before because it was really soft, like it had been overcooked. So it had to be leftovers from last night. A bowl of menudo and some other stuff. Just small stuff, like a little bit of this to try new things, essentially. I don't like taking a lot of something because one of my biggest things about buffet places that I can't stand is the huge amount of food that gets thrown in the trash. I can't stand that. It's a huge pet peeve of mine. I went out to eat with someone one day, and she filled her entire plate up and took a couple bites and just said she was done with it, and then went up and got another plate. And I was just disgusted by that. I was like, there's people in other countries that are just starving. Don't take that much if you're not going to eat it. And I said something. I was kind of polite, even though that reply that I got back was like, well, we're not starving here. There's plenty of food here in America. It's just a pet peeve of mine. I hate it when people waste food. It just bugs me. It really does. I don't know if it's because I grew up dirt poor, essentially. I mean, I literally grew up going to the soup kitchen and eating. A single mom raising 2 kids. A hard childhood, and now I make it a point to I am so sorry, Larry. I know you were in the room. I don't know if you're still in the room though. Made it to 35 names. I only say the name if I know they're gone, if they had one entry. I know Larry had one entry, so and I know he was in the room, so I don't know if he's in the room now, but yeah, so for me, wasting food is a huge pet peeve of mine. I think people take for granted. And I hate seeing people going hungry. It was actually, sometimes you'll see people, they'll stand outside of these restaurants asking for money. And they'll say for food, but then when you try to invite them in, I'll tell you what, come on in, you can have a seat with me. I'll buy your meal. Oh, well, I'd rather have money. I don't never give money. I can't stand giving money. I think money is literally, cash money is just evil. I don't like it. I really don't. Do we need it? Yeah, unfortunately, We need some to survive. But if you say it's for food and someone offers to take you into the restaurant and buy you whatever you want to eat, and they say no, you done just got nothing now. Until you get below 200 or 150, even better, you should get medication treatment. RX, metformin might do you wonders. Okay, so go ahead and you can answer this for me, and I'm going to read the next one. I only take what I know I like at a buffet. I only take small samples of stuff I never had. Yeah, and that's my attitude too. If I know I like it, usually my first plates are stuff that I either love or a couple little samples, and then I go up and I just take a big plate of it after if I know I like it. The other thing, so the metformin. So, okay, so here's the thing, and I'm just going to be blunt because y'all know me. I think we're being lied to about a lot of stuff. I think we're being lied to on so many fronts. Everybody that's in the room right now knows that we are being lied to about money. The money in this country is manipulated. It's a rigged system. Everything going on, we are being lied to. However, I ended up going a little bit further and said, what if we're being lied to about our food that we eat? What if we're being lied to about the stuff that we're told to take? What if we're being lied to about a lot of other things that we just don't know? For control, for profit, for whatever. That kind of bugs me to a certain point. And I know some people that live, I know one lady, she's 100 almost. She's 99. She goes and eats pepperoni pizza and Budweiser. It blew my mind. I even asked the girl, I said, hey, can I talk to you about that one day on camera? And she said, yeah, sure, we can talk one day. And then I said, can I get your photo too? A picture of you? And then she got creeped out. She didn't know what I was really trying to do. I wanted people to be able to see the photo of the woman that I'm talking to, so you can put the voice with the person. And she went and told her daughter that I kind of creeped her out because I wanted a photo of her. And then the daughter, who knows me, said, why did you want a photo of my mom? Can I ask? I said, what do you mean? And she goes, she said that you told her you wanted to talk to her one day on camera, but you also wanted a photo of her. And then I was like, I laughed and I said, I said, yeah, you're right. But I said, do you mind me asking how that came up beforehand? She goes, I don't know. She was kind of freaked out by it. I said, tell her I'm going to put it in my bathroom as a joke. And I said, no, don't say that. I'm just kidding. I said, you know how I do the podcast. I said, I'd like to record her. I love hearing her stories. Her stories about what it was like growing up, what it was like in the old days, and, having hard times, going through even like from 64 to 65, what it must have been like seeing the coins change from silver to clad. And so then it made sense after, but it's just crazy. So when it comes to the medicine, hold on. I'm going to read that before I keep spinning. On life support. Are you? I am so sorry, Pete. I agree. Pete, how old are you? You're on life support. How old are you? I agree 100% about being lied to. But blood sugar, don't lie. I'm a big numbers person, and I am too. Let's see, sipping my glass of water and apple cider vinegar. You're the second person that's told me apple cider vinegar, and I actually have some. I'm fixing to start taking a spoonful of it every day. So here's my problem. You're right. Sugars don't lie. I've pricked my finger. I can clearly see. Oh my word, you're on life support at 65? Wow, that just brought up a whole nother thing that kind of scares me, because this is going to sound totally naive. You guys might think less of me in a minute when I tell you this. My dad passed away at 69. My mom passed away at 69. I've always assumed we just have roughly 70 years. 70 years. With exception of you have an accident, a plane crash, something like that. You ain't going to go from natural causes before 70 unless it's like 69 case, you know. However, I've talked to a few people now that said, no, my dad passed away at a young age. So I mean, that's kind of scary to me. So 65 on life support, I would think you would still have, you know, a good 5-6 years easy. Although I know there are subscribers in the channel that are a lot older than that. One subscriber's like 80 something and member. Let me just see here real quick. How many more? What are we at? We're at 15 people. So 15 names left. I don't know how many of you are in the room. Let's see. I'm just kind of scrolling through. I see one of you are in the room. 2 of you were in the room. 3 of you were in the room. Okay, so 15 names, 10% of you are in the room. I'm sorry. 20% of you are in the room. Always be stacking. So back to and then I'm going to read that comment, Larry, my mom. A full spoonful and you need water. Yeah, and that's what I was going to do. Just mix in like one of them 16-ounce bottles of water. So here's the thing with the metformin. I started taking metformin. I took it for 2 days, I think, maybe 1 day, 1 or 2 days. And I was evaluating some coins for an old lady who used to be a home provider. And they were cufflinks with gold coins in the cufflinks, a tie clip with a gold coin. She got it in an estate sale, really only 8 miles from my house. And she ended up buying it and wanted to know if they were real. And as I'm looking at the stuff, my hand started shaking. I didn't notice my hand was shaking until she told me afterwards. But I felt funny. I stood up and I said, man, I just feel funny all of a sudden. I had some stuff, picked up some stuff in my hand, and all of a sudden my hand just totally lost grip and everything fell out of my hand. I started getting dizzy. She grabbed me. Stumbled me to the recliner. I sat in the recliner. She asked, she goes, "Are you diabetic?" I kind of tried saying something. I couldn't talk. She poked my finger, and it was high. It was like 200, but that's not high for me. 250, that's not high for me. And then she checked my pulse, and my pulse was 35. I don't know what caused a 35 pulse, nor was I even thinking about that. I was just praying I was going to live that day. I didn't know what was going on. I blamed the medicine. But one old lady got me to buy these things at the Dollar Tree. They're little gummy bears that have turmeric, pepper, and some other little things in it. And it said eat 3 a day. I started eating 3 a day, and then I was like, well, if 3 days good, I'll go to 6 a day, 3 in the morning and 3 at night. And before you know it, I was just eating a bunch of them. And someone said after that it may not have been the metformin, it could have been eating those like candy. And I was like, maybe. So I don't know what happened in that case, but now that scared me on the metformin. I heard a lot of stories about metformin from the military people, and that worries me a little bit. So I don't really want to take that if I can avoid it. But I'm trying to do it with the healthy way. But like I said, the ladies that I went out to dinner with tonight said, you need to be on medicine, dude. You're not going to do it without medicine. Everybody says you're not going to do it without medicine, though. It's about willpower. I've heard people say, you know, a lot of things. You're not going to be able to do that. You're not going to be able to achieve that. You can achieve anything you want to if you put your mind to the fact that you're going to do it. A lot of people just give up and don't even want to try. And they give up. We got 5 members, so 5 names. This is where it gets a little sticky because I feel so bad someone making it all the way towards the end and then getting cut. We got 5 names left. I am so sorry, Scott. You were in the room earlier tonight. I don't know if you are still in the room. 4 names left. Oh, Chris B, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry, buddy. 3 names left. Here we go. 3 names left. We're going to do this again, too, next week. What the heck? Do you see that freeze up a little bit? I don't know if you saw it. I saw it on my side. Happy Stacker. I am so sorry, buddy. 2 names left. The next one is the person that doesn't win, and the last name is the winner. And that leaves the final winner, GETX. Here we go, and then we're going to continue on with the story. Someone pulled the plug. GETX, congratulations. You are the winner this month. Let me read through the comments because I am a little bit behind. Life support on the wheel. I am so sorry. Yeah, as we start getting down, it gets crazy. And I knew it always does. I don't know why it does that. You go from so many names to so few. Okay, so where were we? Let's see. We were talking about... So I'm not a fan of Metformin. I'm thinking I can do it the right way. My aunt and uncle don't remember 1964 and 65 happening at all at that time. So a lot of people didn't even notice. We're going to talk about silver now for a little bit. A lot of people didn't know. I've talked to people that said they don't remember anything special about 64. The money changed and it happened quick and nobody realized. Just like 82, they changed the penny. I talked to people today that still think the penny is made out of copper. Oh, copper will never go up in value because there's too many pennies out there. But now that they're getting rid of the penny, what's going to happen? Well, they're going to probably melt down a lot of pennies, and that will be it. No spoonful need water. No. I just was like a spoonful because I don't want to overmix it. I've drank in a lot of apple cider vinegar straight, and I did not like it. My mom and dad moved into a house I grew up in this week in 1973. They paid $34,000 for it, for a bedroom, 2 bath, 1 bed, mother-in-law apartment. It was 1 acre of land. My son just bought a 4-bedroom, 2 bath. Yeah. So property values have been skyrocketing. My son paid $500,000 or $500,000. Yeah, property values are off the charts right now. A lot of people wondering if this can sustain. I don't think it can. I think it's going to have to crash and come down. Life support on the wheel. Always be stacking. Let's see, where was I? I just jumped. Nuts. Somebody pulled the plug. I agree. You're not going to do it without Oh, no. Conrad. Come on, my man. I agree. You're not going to be able to do it without medicine unless you get trim and eat healthy. Until then, you need RX. If you end up getting off the RX, then that would be the best situation, I do believe. So, here's the thing. I am checking my sugar levels twice a day, every morning and every night, and sometimes during the day. What I'm hoping, or what I'm planning on, is between now and my blood work appointment to keep pushing myself. I can't do anything until the blood work appointment comes in. Once I get them numbers, they want to look at the A1C numbers. Once that number comes in, a lot of people have said if that number's over 7, you need medicine. If it's still 6.8, then maybe you can get away with trying to do it without. But it seems to be like my baseline right now. Baseline would be the average in the morning would be the base. After everything's broken down all night, the morning. There's still a couple things I'm going to try, and I'll tell you what those are here in a bit. For major wins, I'm looking at this as a war. I really am. And each thing is a battle. Making it through a week, making it through a meal, making it through Thanksgiving, all these things are little battles. I'm not going to go Thanksgiving not eat anything. You know, obviously, if I get a plate with potatoes, I'm going to eat the potatoes. I'm not going to eat a full plate of nothing but potatoes. One of the things I want to try is the fasting, a 3-day fast, to see if that has a major effect. No food whatsoever for 3 days. There's a documentary on it with Chris Hemsworth on, I think, the Discovery Channel about the benefits of fasting. So I'm going to try that out. As long as I can keep pushing my number down, I want to. If I keep seeing a new low every few days, then I'm convinced that I can do it without medicine. If I go a week without seeing a new low, then maybe I'm going to start getting a little discouraged and think that, oh, maybe they're right. I need medicine. So we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. But remember, there's multiple fronts. One front that I'm looking at is cut out sugar as much as you can. One front that I'm looking at is eat vegetables that pull sugar from the bloodstream, which would be heavy chlorifers, I think they say it. Vegetables like kale, broccoli, high fibrous foods that draw that out. If you're going to eat stuff like pasta, make sure it's reheated. Pasta, potatoes, make sure it's cooked one day, put in the refrigerator and ate as leftovers. Something about the resistant starch, once it's been cooked and then cold and then reheated, it doesn't break down quite as much, or it hurries up and goes out your body. It doesn't have time to break down or something. I don't understand why, but I've read a couple studies on it already. Right here, let's see. When your body stops processing insulin and sugar properly, there is only so much that you can fix by willpower and hard work. And that's why I said, if I go a week and I don't see a new low, then I'm going to say I'm done. I can't do it by myself. I need medicine. But as long as I keep seeing over the last 6 days, every other day I've hit a new low. Tomorrow I probably won't hit a new low because today was buffet day, but I didn't go crazy at the buffet, so I might. I know when I checked it before the show, I was 254. 254 is 50 points lower than my average evening check. But who knows? I ate early this evening because I had that big buffet. I wasn't really hungry. I ate small, and then I ate an apple. So we'll see. I'm curious to see tomorrow's numbers. Maybe I'll start trying to mention it in every video that I put up. Today's numbers were, today's pick 3 was 198. We'll have a little contest. People can put in the comments of what they think tomorrow's number will be. I might do that, actually. That does sound kind of fun. Let's see here. I wear a constant glucose monitor. It's a game changer. So that's a huge thing. I actually talked to Larry a little bit about that. I want one of those. My insurance before, which was private insurance before I went to the VA, would not pay for that. They said you can buy a finger pricker, which I bought and I use, but I want one of those because a girl that I know, she wears one on her arm and it transmits nonstop data to her phone. You take a sip of sweet tea and 20 minutes later your sugar is spiked. You understand that sweet tea did that. You have an apple and nothing happens, then you know apples are good. Although we know that, let's be honest. So who knows? Rice bread potatoes blow my sugar sky high. I would say I would be curious if you were to reheat your potatoes and rice. Take your rice and potatoes, cook them, have them cooked for you, whatever, if you are on life support, and then put them in the refrigerator for 24 hours and then eat them the next day and see if it has the same effect. That's something that I am fixing to test out. I'm going to cook some pasta, eat a bowl, and see what it does to my sugar numbers. 30 minutes later, 1 hour later, hour and a half later. The next day, I'm going to eat a leftover bowl that's been sitting in the fridge and see if it does the same movement. One of those monitors on the arm would make that test extremely easy. Let's see. Buffet day sounded like a lot of protein. That's pretty good. It was a lot of protein. Even though it was a buffet day, a lot of bacon, sausage, probably not healthy for the fat content, but I don't do it every day. So I pretty much just, like I said, and it was a lot of protein and fruits and vegetables. So have you heard of stacking on a zinc? Hold on. Sucking on a zinc tablet to take out a sore throat when it starts. Maybe suck on a silver coin. So I'm not sure if that's a joke, but hold on. I'm gonna talk a little bit about that now. I have heard some crazy things about what silver can do. Think about this for a minute. I've heard rumors that you can milk a cow, put it in a glass bottle, and drop a silver coin in it, and it will not go bad. I would be extremely curious if that is the case. I want to test that out. I love testing crazy things because when everything gets crazy and you can't get milk at the grocery store, you can't get the things you need, you can't get your diabetes medicine because some major event. Oh, I was joking about life support. I was referring to the wheel. Oh, okay. I thought you really were on life support. I'm sorry. So yeah. I don't know. How far did you make it, Pete? Did you make it to the end? I'm not sure. Like, not the end, but were you in, like, the last 10, 15 names? That always stings me when I make it close to the end, and then I lose. I've had that happen on stuff like this before, or a football game. Your Curity. So here's the thing. I'm going to try something like that, and he actually got me wanting to see if I can get some kind of a silver thing, and I've heard of eating silver. What was it? I mean, someone made a joke about it, but there is such a thing as it. Some kind of tablet powdered silver or something. It wasn't silver nitrate. I don't remember what it was. It would be funny and fitting if keeping a silver coin in your mouth was your cute tea. Your Curity. So, hey, who knows? We could see something that we could find something out. That would be crazy if that happened. I don't know how I could test that, though. You only take it out when you're eating or drinking and going to bed. Keep it in, like some people chew gum. You just have it under your tongue all day. If that's the case, I'd probably be tempted to get a tongue piercing. That would probably be the easiest way to do it. I don't think it would be the case because I know people that have piercings and tongue piercings. And I would assume those piercings are silver. But I don't know. There it is. Chloridal silver. That was what it was called. Liquid silver, too much, turns you blue. Oh, okay. That's good to know then. But what about a little? So fluoride, for those of you that don't know, who knows how fluoride came about? So fluoride came about in a little town in the middle of nowhere that had high fluoride content in its water. Totally natural. The people started drinking it, the water, when they moved into the area. And they were drinking the water. Didn't realize anything. and their teeth all started turning yellow. And some of them got really sick. They later found out, they did studies on it, what was happening. And eventually they said, oh, small doses of fluoride are good for you, is what they told us. So they started adding it in every water district across the United States, or most of. I don't like fluoride. I don't take fluoride. Some people are going to be like, it's in your water, bro. No, not in mine. I drink I drink what my friends tease me about and call baby water. They call it baby water. Why do you always buy baby water? You can just get water for free out of the tap. I said, I drink distilled water because it has absolutely nothing in it. I am convinced you will get the minerals and the nutrition you need from the huge amounts of garbage that people probably eat. And if you're a healthy eater, then you should be getting it from the plants and the food that you're eating, the nutrition that you need. I don't believe there's such thing necessarily as too much water. I drink 2 gallons of distilled water a day, with some exceptions. Days like today where I'm on the road all day, I don't drink a lot of water because I'm out. This morning it was orange juice at Golden Corral, and I'm convinced now that orange juice is even bad if it's orange juice from a place like that. Maybe not if it's orange juice from a fresh orange that you just squeezed. Maybe not, because I just ate an orange earlier tonight. But when I was drinking that orange juice, it seemed to me like it was awfully sweet, and it did not seem natural. Like orange juice at a grocery store. It almost tasted like a Tang. So who knows? With that being said, 1 hour and 30 minutes. We're going to wrap this up. You probably drink more water than you would otherwise because of your high glucose. OJ skyrockets your glucose. Bingo. That's kind of what I think too. But does it still skyrocket it if it's natural oranges that you cut in half and squeezed yourself? I'm wondering if it does have that same effect. And that could be. I drink a lot of water because, but I mean, is that bad? Do you think? I mean, when you drink the water, it should maybe be helping flush your kidneys, maybe? I don't know, something in your body. I haven't done the full breakdown on, I'm not good at when it comes to your body body anatomy. I don't even know the process of where the food goes into your stomach, intestines, whatever the case may be. I need to read up a little bit on that too, but I'm focusing more on figuring out ways to cut the sugar down as quick as I can. When my dad had low glucose, the first thing my mom would get him was OJ. Ooh, that makes sense. I have heard of that. Reason being, it spikes your sugar up. That could be. And then when I'm away from home, I tend to drink soda sometimes. Today I had 3 cans of Diet Coke. Diet Coke. I got to emphasize diet because someone said that ain't good for you. And I said, the can says 0000 across the board. So I figured, hey. With that being said, we're going to wrap up. Congratulations, GE Techs. You are the winner. Big winner. 1 ounce of silver going out to you. Shoot me an email. Let me know that you did see this video. We're going to run this event again next week. So going to be exciting there. If you have a soda, great diet soda. Yes, always diet soda. I can't even drink regular Coke. I mean, I've had people, oh, here, it's the same thing, dude. Just have it. Once in a while, it ain't going to hurt you. I go and I have it, and to me, it just doesn't taste good. Canadian Dry is a nice replacement for pop. Oh, that's funny you say that. My dad was a hardcore diabetic, and he used to always drink Canadian Dry ginger ale. He would buy it by the cases, and they would just bring it to his work, and then he'd be like, hey, take 3 cases of that and put it in my truck, and then he'd take it home, and just the company would pay it. Let's see, GE Techs explained his name on your last video. Oh no, I didn't see the comment yet. I know Tex is probably he's a Texan. GE. Oh, you know what? I think I might know it actually. I'm guessing it's first initial and last initial. So it said GE Tex. Maybe. Let me know if that's correct, if you read the explanation. A slice of lime. Huh. You know, that's funny. I actually have some limes in my fridge right now that somebody gave me. They were going to throw them away. They got them, I don't know, they got them for free and he didn't want them. Somebody gave them to him right off a tree. He didn't want them. Asked me if I wanted them. I'll take them. I'll put them in my fridge. I don't know what I'll do with them yet, but I'll use them for something, I'm sure. I probably won't make key lime pie with them anymore. That's pretty much over. No more pie. No more sweets. No more cakes. Yeah, I'm thinking that the explanation that he gave is probably... I think ginger ale has the same amount of sugar. Same amount of sugar has in other soda flavors. Oh, well, there's diet too, I'm sure. Diet ginger ale. With that being said, I will for sure see you again next weekend. Hoping to end up, and it's going to be a whole lot cooler next weekend. Hair pie. Oh, I get that, I think. Let's see here. That's a possibility. Let's see. I don't know. Maybe my mind's in the gutter. I don't know. Let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else going on major. Any topics, any ideas? Once this video goes up, it'll be up tomorrow morning. Leave me a comment. Give me some suggestions on good potential videos for the week. I'm running out of video ideas. I think GE is his initials and TX is from Texas. Yeah, I think he lives in Texas. I'm 90% sure he lives in Texas. Only because we've talked online before. For those of you that are not on the Discord room, definitely jump in the Discord room. Join Discord. It's pretty cool. Excuse me. Leave me some comments. Let me know your thoughts on good video ideas. I would check the silver price right now. Did you see my comment? I did not check comments today or yesterday at all. Comment on Russia selling off 10% of its gold. I did not see that, but I'm not at all worried about that. And I can't even help to wonder if it's true. China came out and made it sound like we're done buying gold, and all of a sudden the gold price tanked. And then all of a sudden they swept in and picked up a ton of it. I said, that's why I don't trust them. I said, that's exactly what they do. I think Russia probably said something, and have no intent on getting rid of their gold. They will if they need the money. They will if they need the money. Just like any one of us would if we needed the money. Let's take a look. Since gold and silver ain't moving, let's check Bitcoin. Excuse me. At last check, which was yesterday. Oh, no, I'm sorry. At 6 a.m. this morning, which was 18 hours ago, roughly. Bitcoin was at $84,502. And here we go. We're going to refresh it. 86. It's climbing up. Climbing up slowly but surely. Boom. But that's still kind of a devastating drop. Let me just look here what this was. 75,000 on April 9th. So I don't think we're out of the woods yet looking at this move up right here. I think we got more room to go down. Some of y'all know I want to buy $50 worth of Bitcoin. I'm thinking about buying it if we see it hit 75 and I can catch it at 75. I think that's when I'm going to buy my $50 worth and hold. I don't know if I'll buy any more than that, though. I'm not really a huge believer in it. The $50 was more because someone gave me a $50 super chat and wanted to see me start following Bitcoin a little bit more. So I'm probably going to. I'm just waiting for the opportunity. Bitcoin has shed almost $800 billion since its October peak. What's behind the plunge? people are starting to wake up and say this ain't Wonderland, or we are in Wonderland. Serious Fed warning triggers sudden Bitcoin price drop, sparking fresh crash fears. Can Bitcoin price bounce back? Here are the top factors. Bitcoin news today, November 23rd. Bitcoin price dips to new lows amid turmoil. Let's see. Reading the comments. War is expensive. Absolutely. Produce more than that in 1 year. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, Russia's selling their gold. I don't think they're going to sell, personally. I think it's just rumors. I think they realize what's going on. And the question I would have is, if they're going to sell their gold, what are they going to buy with it? What's their plan on buying? Bitcoin is tanking, absolutely. I bet your buddy wishes Bitcoin went back to 120, and then he still won't sell if it does. Yeah, people are going to ride Bitcoin to the dirt. I've got two buddies that I know are extremely disappointed right now in Bitcoin. Both of them hold it. One of my buddies has never bought any silver, not 1 ounce. And he has a full Bitcoin, one full Bitcoin. At his peak, he had 2 Bitcoin, but when Bitcoin hit 60,000, he sold one of them. The other one he's kept. My other buddy has probably $600 or $700 in Bitcoin, and he has bought maybe couple $1,000 in silver at first 25, then again at 35, and then a very little bit, a 10-ounce bar at $54. And I know the $54 one probably burns him a little. However, if I bought at $54, which I guess I really did, I shouldn't say if I had, then I would be looking for the opportunity to pick some more up when it's down. Anything under 50. If I can pick silver up anything under 50 right now, I like it. However, I'm pretty broke right now, so I'm probably not going to be picking up much, only because I got a lot going on at my house, trying to get it fixed up, trying to get stuff done. So I probably won't be buying much silver or gold. But I don't know. I have a problem. If I see some on sale, I tend to pick it up. I'm curious to go to the Walmart. Like Larry had said, his Walmart had gold jewelry almost at spot. That would be pretty interesting if that's the case. So, I mean, hey, that would be my opinion for you guys is check out your local Walmart and see if you can get some gold. I might go and do a quick little video. If I do, I'll let you know what I see. I'll show you guys a video. I'll show you how to calculate it out for those of you that don't know. Get yourself one of those little scales, little gram scales. Weigh it, put it on the scale, boom, then do the math based on 10% gold, 12% gold, whatever the case may be, 18, whatever. With that being said, going to wrap up here. I'm going to read the last comments real quick. What is up, Golden? Hope you're having a great day, buddy. Yo, T, I'm 21 years old and started stacking at 19. So you've been stacking for 2 years. I love your videos and the information you provide. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Golden. Definitely keep stacking. With a name like Golden, I'm hoping you're stacking silver. But I got to say that. I only say that because we still have, over 80-to-1 gold-silver ratio. I think silver's going to do the best next year. It did the best this year. I think it's going to do the best next year again. But, I mean, stacking anything, if you're 21 now and you started stacking at 19, you are definitely golden. You are in a good position, or you should be. Even if you're just stacking 1 ounce of silver a payday, a week, it doesn't matter. You're stacking. I actually know kids. I shouldn't say kids. I don't know. Younger people. I say everybody's a kid if they're younger than me. But I actually know some younger people that are in, their early 20s, 23, 22, and they started stacking, at a young age, and they're sitting on nice stacks that are worth a lot of money. So you're going to see your money is going up. And that's what I try to tell friends of mine. I tell them, look, right now you're young. You're young. You can go to work, make money, spend it frivolously, and you're going to get another paycheck next week. And as long as you keep going to work every week, I think I should do a video on this. As long as you keep going to work every week, you will always have money. You will always be able to do what you want. But a time will come when you can't give up any more of your time. You're either old, or you're sick, or you're hurt, or you have overspent. Because keep in mind, while you're trying to build wealth, someone is trying to take it away from you. How are they taking it away from you? They're giving you credit. They're giving you a credit card to let you run out, buy the things you want right now, and it's no big deal. We can set it up where you pay $25 a month, and they get you like that. They're trying to take it away. The sooner you can put money into hardcore investments, the better off you will be in the long run. If you don't sell them, you will always have them. You will always have wealth. Wealth is very, important. It's not the end all to the be all. It's not necessarily going to make you happy. I can tell you from experience, just money alone is not going to make you happy. I used to laugh when I hear people say that. Now, at my age, I totally understand that. What is up, Happy Stacker? Thank you so much for that $5 super chat. I really do appreciate that. People just don't understand that, though. What do you have in your life? Time. You can't buy more of it. You can't get more of it. You only have so much of it. And you sell your time for money so you can get the things you want. But if you put your money into items that create wealth, they go up in value when you're sleeping, when you're having fun at the beach with your family, when you're out on a date with your girlfriend. I don't know. You're enjoying your life, and that money is still making you money. That's the key. When you can look at your stack and say, hey, my stack's going up. I didn't really do anything today, but at least my stack went up $1 an ounce times however many ounces you have. The late night fee, thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. It was kind of a fluke. So for those of you that don't know, I did not do the event last month because we had the hailstorm. It set me behind. I was supposed to do it at the end of the month. I didn't do it. I did it tonight. We had our winner. GE Tex was the winner. And then tomorrow, next weekend, I'll do it again for this month. And then by then, we'll be going into December. And I don't know when I'll do the December one. Scrolling through, checking these comments so I didn't miss nothing real quick. Well, if you have 2 Bitcoin and sold 1, he may very well be playing with the house's money. I think he is playing with the house's money still. But here's the thing. Even when you're playing with the house's money and you have $120,000 of the house's money, it still stings when it goes down to $50,000. When you had $120,000 of their money and now you got 50 of their money, it's going to sting. And I guarantee you, from when I talked to him last time, it stings right now that he's at 80 and he was at 120. 40 grand is no joke. So yeah, but I would say you're right on that. Both of them he bought. I think he said he bought them at like 25-ish. Or 18, might have even been 18. So happy stacker, hope you're having a great night. Let's see, I stacked both pretty much 50-50. So here's why, 50-50, that's hot on gold. That's, in my personal opinion, that is heavy gold. Do I think gold's going to go up? Absolutely. I think gold's going to go a whole lot higher. I just think silver doubling is more believable than gold right now in the short run. I think silver will easily double next year. I don't know if gold will easily double next year. I had somebody say, "Oh, of course it will, because they're going to revalue gold probably by the end of the year." Here's the thing: if you're right, if that person is right, and they revalue gold to whatever number, I am convinced silver will be right there behind it. Late fee, laugh out loud. Thank you so much. Okay, Golden. I used to be on crypto and stocks and just ended up gambling. Gold and silver has changed my life and my savings. Absolutely. So, believe it or not, there was a time when I was a naysayer on gold and silver. In 2000, when gold was $400 an ounce and silver was $5 an ounce, I had somebody in the military come up to me and say, instead of buying .coms and stocks and mutual funds, you should be putting your money in gold and silver. And I said, what? You're buying a rock? And I laughed at him. And I feel bad for that to this day for two reasons. One, it would have been nice to buy it at 400 and hold it today. And two, because I kind of didn't really take it serious. I wish I could figure out who that was. I've thought about, I've even looked back at my old military books to see if I could figure out who the person was, and you know, try to look the guy up on Facebook or something. But people that are stackers are really kind of secretive about it. And so I would never be able to find him. And even if I found him, he probably wouldn't remember me. A blip on the radar, that's what I was. And to me, he was that too, but I remember him taking half of his check every month, his paycheck, and buying gold and silver and mailing it back to the States from Bahrain. Great lesson, Golden. Yeah, I mean, stacking is the way. It's huge. Everything else seems like it's gambling to me now. But like I said, I got lucky. I used my stock money, pulled it all out, bought my first house, and it put me in a good position. I was going to buy one Bitcoin at $1,000, but didn't know how. Wow, that's cool. How much platinum? I don't have any platinum. I've never bought. And I actually had an offer probably 2 weeks ago to buy a 5-gram platinum bar. I turned it down. I have 0 platinum. Not because I don't like platinum, because I don't like it as much as gold and silver. Conrad, back in 2010, I heard Bitcoin was mined, and I assume you earned it by playing Minecraft. Laugh out. I'm guessing SMH is like laugh out loud. So yeah, back then a lot of people mined it. You could have done really well mining it. Not through Minecraft though, but mining it. I actually have one friend. He had like 4 Bitcoin on our hard drive, and he threw the hard drive away. And he is convinced somebody's going to get lucky and find it. But here's the thing. I don't think it's that easy to get it off if you've lost. Because even if someone finds the hard drive, you also have to find the code to break it. Will supercomputers someday... Shaking my head. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I just thought it was like a smirk. But yeah, I mean, maybe someday with supercomputers, they'll have the ability to break into some of these hard drives and gain access to them. But once that happens, that could really open the door up to a huge crypto crash. Because more people would gain access to the old wallets that have a lot of them that have just been sitting there. I just added 1 ounce of platinum. Congratulations on that. That's a huge accomplishment. Definitely nice. And with that being said, I'm going to say it again. I guess we're going to wrap the video up. We're at 1 hour and 54 minutes. I said I was going to wrap it up at 1.5 hours, and then I talked for 25 more minutes. But on tonight, it really doesn't matter how long I talk. I mean, it's just, you know, I'm not even feeling tired, to be honest. I wasn't going to get up early this morning, but then somebody needed something from me, so I had to get up. I did look into mining it, but I never specific enough to know how or where to buy an exact model. GPU, computer, intensive computer. So yeah, I actually have a computer that can mine Bitcoin, but I don't have the knowledge to really do it. It's got, well, I shouldn't say it still does. 4 years ago, it was top of the line. So who knows what it's at now. I've been meaning to, once I move, I think I'm going to open it up with a buddy of mine. Probably go in, change out the hard drive to add some more space. I also have 4 computers from old days with pictures, with papers, with information on it. I want to end up having him somehow copy all that stuff off there. We're talking a 20-year-old computer. Movies, photos, download them all to one hard drive and install the new hard drive on this computer. That way I can access that stuff. This is stuff from when I was in the Navy, photos, that type of stuff, digital stuff. Before it becomes like the old negatives. I've got so many negatives. I've got a whole binder of negatives that I don't even know what's on them anymore. But they're sitting in a binder. It'd be nice to pull up those old photos from back in the day, separate what's good, what's not. Refresh that. We got 86,416, 86,201, so we're inching down a little bit. I have a gram or two of platinum. Let's see. Buying tomorrow a 10-ounce silver bar and a 1/10 gold eagle. 1/10 ounce gold eagles I do really like. I've got a couple of them still. I definitely like those. They're easy to sell if I needed money. 10-ounce bars. Not a big fan of 10-ounce bars anymore, even though I've got a bunch. I'm definitely not a fan of kilos. One of my friends, he no longer buys any kilo bars of silver. He has a we buy gold, we buy silver business. And he said, I won't touch a kilo bar anymore. Too many issues come from them. Even though, I mean, a kilo bar is not that much. It's, what, $1,600? Maybe? Let's see. What is the price of a kilo bar of silver right now? $16.20. Let's see if you were to buy one, though, somewhere, what you're going to pay. We got $16.75, $17.32, $17.40, $18. I would pretty much probably, if I was going to sell a kilo of silver, I would take any price on this board to get rid of it. Just because now with people not wanting them because they're so big, and if the price goes up, if the price doubles, you're going to have a $3,400 bar of silver. A lot of people can't afford a $4,000 ounce of gold right now, so that's why they're buying silver. But they are pretty. I've got one of these right here. I've got one of these right here. And I don't know. I don't see any of the other ones I got. I got 2 other designs for kilos. One has the lion. It's the Scottsdale stacker that kind of looks like this, but it doesn't say Atmax. It says Scottsdale. And then the other one was something like, right here. And here goes this one, NTR. So, okay, let's see here what we got for comments. Same price about. Can't turn it down for $425. Oh, wow. Oh, for a 10-ounce bar? Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, I would buy that in a minute for $42.50 an ounce. I wouldn't turn that down for darn sure. Biggest bar I have is a 20-ounce bar. Nice. I don't know if I've ever seen a 20-ounce bar. I have 10-ounce bars and I have some kilo bars. John, the gold. Oh, the gold is for 425. I think that's still a steal. I would buy that in a minute for $425. Let's see. Went to a coin show in Fargo today. Was eyeing a Palladium Eagle. Passed. Still have no Palladium, but I did load up on Platinum. Yeah, I know you like Platinum. There's a few people in the room that really like Platinum. Kilo Bar with a name brand had issues with. Do a video on that. I've never had an issue with a fake. I'm guessing you mean issues meaning a fake bar. A lot of times they'll drill a bar and they'll just put a drill bit through it. And if the shavings test, once they melt down the shavings, they test it. If that tests good, boom, you're in the money. I've seen them do it on Pawn Stars. I think it was called Pawn Stars with Chumley or whatever. Let's see. Pretty so gold will be out of my reach. Grabbing what I can now. Yeah, gold is out of a lot of people's reach. I've got one friend that, he's got money, but $4,000 at one time is tough. And so he's stopped buying a lot of gold, unless it's the 1/10 ounce gold coin. Soon, it's out of my reach now for one. I haven't bought a 1 ounce gold coin in, I don't know, probably 3 years now. Before, I loved them when I could get them at spot. Now, I wouldn't touch one at spot even. I actually got offered one at spot not too long ago, and I turned it down. What is your friend's issue with the kilo bars? Just too big. So, that friend... What is up, Doc? How's it going? Hope you're having a great day, buddy. Hey, glad to see you on. Yeah, we just ran our event. 2 hours ago we ran our event. So his issue with it is because the price has gone up so much, he told me he is worried that there may be IRS complications soon with paperwork, that maybe if he buys it, he's supposed to have to fill out some kind of paperwork. So he's just staying away from it altogether. I don't think, in my opinion, there's IRS issues yet. I do think a time will come where there will be, where they'll want, receipts provided for how much you bought it for, how much you sold it for, how did you pay them, this and that. I don't know, but I would like to end up trading the couple kilos that I got. I would even consider trading the kilos for gold, which is probably what I would do down the road when everybody is scrambling to get their hands on silver, because silver went to $100 and doubled, and gold went to, $6,000 and went up 50%. And people will be scrambling. Oh, I got to get gold. I got to get gold. I got to get gold. Or I'm sorry, I got to get silver. Got to get silver. And I'll be like, hey, I got this kilo bar of silver. I'm willing to trade you. What's the ratio right now? Oh, the ratio right now is 40-1. Okay, well, this 32.15. I'll throw you another 8 ounces of silver, and boom, you give me a 1 ounce gold coin. And that will be it. Will that happen? It could. You never know. Hey, glad to see you on. Okay, so some local coin shops will pay less, but just got to find the right buyer. Yeah, if AG goes to $100, a kilo will be $3,000. It could be hard to move. Absolutely, that's what I'm thinking. I know one guy that he was trying to sell a 100-ounce bar, and he had a hard time with it. Me, I wouldn't buy a 100-ounce bar unless it's like, it would have to be probably $5 under spot for me to want it. And I know they're probably not going to throw away $500 just to sell it. And if I got it, I would probably melt it down and turn it into silver shot. Want a Perth Dragon Kilo coin. Ooh, that would be a nice one. A 2012. I wonder if people like buying new date coins because it proves their cost basis is only can only be so low. Ooh, so that is a question that I have heard come up before. Looking at cost basis, as in if you don't have a receipt. It's highly unlikely that you're going to get a 2025 coin and you paid less than the lowest price of the year, maybe a little lower, but not by much. Let's see, 2012. I think it is Silverback Stacker. Could be older. I forgot. Let me just see. Perth Dragon Kilo. There are some. Yeah, Silverback Stacker, he has a channel. So if you guys want to subscribe to that channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe for him. I know a lot of people like to subscribe to other channels. Let's see. Scrolling through real quick, looking at the comments. I think that's it. We're going to wrap up here. Again, I'm saying it. 36 minutes later. I do got to wrap up, though. So I'm going to wrap it up here for good. I thank everybody for watching. Let me see here. Get back on this one so you guys can check out some of my other great videos. Shorts, videos, a lot of good content. With that being said, Silver Sloth, you have a great night, buddy. Conrad, you have a great night. Silverback Stacker, you have a great night. Doc, you have a great night. Happy Stacker, T, on my way, having a perfectly balanced stack. Thank you for your help. Thank you so much for that super chat too, Mr. Happy Stacker. I appreciate that. Been too long since I made a vid, but I do have some good stacking videos. Absolutely. You made one not too long ago. I thought it was with do you call it tarnishing? Tarnishing a coin. I think it was. You had the Legendary Warrior tarnishing. Have a great week. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend, everybody. Let's see. If you're in the room and you want a shout out, go ahead and leave a comment. Let's see here. Joe, you have a great night, buddy. Golden, you have a great night, my friend. Let's see. Maple Leaf Numismatics, you have a great night, my friend. Let's see. Christian Love 420, you have a great night, my friend. Pete, you have a great night. And I think that's all we got in the room. We only got 12 people in the room right now. So have a great night, a week, and a Thanksgiving. Oh, that's right, Thanksgiving. I didn't put up a schedule of when I'm going to do videos for Thanksgiving week. I don't know if I'll do a video on Thanksgiving. There's a good chance I probably will. I'll definitely probably do the other live stream for the month next weekend, so that will be a good thing. With that being said, going to wrap up here. I'm going to hit the end stream here in a minute. Oh, what just happened? Nope. So definitely I hope everybody has a great weekend. I'll see you guys again anyway tomorrow, Monday. Is it tomorrow? Not quite. Almost tomorrow. We'll see. I still got 8 minutes. But who knows? I may even go live tomorrow night early. If I'm bored, the weather ain't bad, I may go live and just kind of answer questions if anybody has any. With that being said, oh, and Doc, you have a great night, buddy. 10 people watching. A lot of people are already dropping out now. So you guys have a great night, and thank you all for watching, and have a good one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.